So yeah, should we call the turntable a sample instrument? I mean, technically it is an instrument that plays back samples, so that technically that's true, but I think because of its history and how it evolved, we certainly don't see it like that, we don't feel it like that. And I think, it's been said that there are associated sounds, especially the R and the fresh sample and various drum breaks, that are really part of the turntable sort of vocabulary. So people see, and when you stick to those sounds, it feels a lot more like an instrument. But, and I suppose the way all these techniques of playing it have developed that require so much practice, they require real skills, virtuosity. And so when you say sample playback, it makes me think of pressing buttons of a sampler on a keyboard, whereas the turntables has got this sort of tactile human element, which using the word sample playback just doesn't do it justice, because it's something that really shapes the sound. So it's much more, it's more sensitive than sample playback. But ultimately that's what it does, but in a very, very delicate way, because the fact that the needle is there, actually, you can just knock the needle off, that makes it feel all the more real and more organic, even if it is just playing back something on a laptop. So I think I'd call it more of a sort of tactile sample instrument or something, or a sort of human sample instrument. I don't know. Maybe there's a new term for the turntable, a new way of describing it that we can find. But I think it has, because it comes from hip hop and because of how it's normally used, I think it's not been taken seriously as a sample playback instrument. And I think there are some people who, in, say, what I've seen in the electroacoustic community, in the classical electronic world, they're always searching for a brilliant electronic instrument, something to play back samples that's expressive. Well, the turntablism's been there all the time, but they never took it seriously because they just saw it as something from street culture, something that wasn't a serious instrument. In fact, in some respects, that's actually what people have been looking for. But I think maybe also some musicians are scared of it because it requires a lot of practicing as well. It requires a lot of technique, so that can be off-putting. But somehow that's endured, And there have been lots of different sample playback instruments, and there's not a standardized sample playback instrument, except for just a keyboard, but that's not so satisfying. So actually the turntables it's got the longevity, it's the one that hasn't gone. So that's a lot in its favor, I think, stands in its favor.